Hey travelers, Sunny here. Let's talk Greece. This trip to Greece was extremely last minute, especially considering how many places and activities we got to cram in. It was one of those decisions I made when my life was way too loud, I was stretched way too thin, and I honestly realized I needed to get out and remember what it felt like to breathe. I had actually just finished traveling for work. I was in Turkey and the Philippines and Japan, all for a huge department change. I had just developed an entire new process for the way that we were going to run this particular department and was going to the Philippines to train our team there. Turned around, came right back to the US, and was retraining my team here. It was exhausting, to say the absolute least. But this opportunity came up, and despite the chaotic timing, or perfect timing, I knew I needed to take it. So I booked the flight. We started in Santorini, and we could not be more happy with our decision. We were debating on going to Mykonos, where we hear it's more of the party scene, but I really just needed the calm, slow version of Greece. And in Santorini, we were able to rent four-wheelers and drive every single inch of this amazing place. The four-wheelers was the best decision. I highly recommend doing it. We got to go everywhere. They were super easy to drive around, super easy to park, and we had a blast. I would have been totally fine just staying on that four-wheeler the whole time. Something about Santorini really felt like a reset button. Like I was floating on top of everything I had just left at home. Next stop on our trip was Milos, and this was my absolute favorite part of the entire trip. Honestly, I barely filmed anything. I was just way too caught up in the moment. It was unbelievable. This little fisherman village we stumbled upon was right out of a movie. I could have just spent my time just staring and sitting and watching and waiting for nothing and had the best time ever. Milos really felt like existing without trying so hard, if that makes any sense. From Milos, we went to Paros, and while we were in Paros, we took a day trip to Antiparos. Now, in Antiparos, we had no plan at all. We rented four-wheelers again, and we're driving around, and we stumbled upon a Vuv bar, you guys. I think they might have like 6 Vuv bars in the whole world. Don't quote me on that, I'm not positive. But it was just sitting there glowing in the sun like it was waiting for us. My sister is obsessed with Vuv, and I think we might have spent $300 on champagne that day. That's a story for another time. While at the Vuv bar, I bought this bathing suit that was absolutely way too expensive. Like, it's the most expensive piece of clothing I own, you guys. But hey, worth every penny. You'll see it in this video. It's the green one. You can't miss it. And you know what? Sometimes healing is just buying something very impractical that makes you feel incredible. We ended our trip in Athens before hitting the airport. We really just took a bar crawl and found every single Aperol spritz in the city. And I can confidently say you can't go wrong anywhere. They were all absolutely fantastic. I'm a really big nerd for Greek mythology, so the Parthenon and the temples were absolutely incredible, and the history that this city holds really makes you feel so small. And I mean that in the best kind of way. It just really puts you back into the center of your own life and makes you think that all these little things that you get so caught up at doesn't matter, and you're gonna be okay anyways. And people have been around for years, and I don't know, there's no words to explain how small I felt there and how freeing feeling small felt to me. Athens was grounding. The history, the noise, the food, the people. Oh wait, you guys, the food. You have to try moussaka. You have never had Greek salad until you've had it in Greece. The pita, the tzatziki, everything was phenomenal. I absolutely love seafood, and I had it every single day on this trip. You guys cannot go wrong with the food here. But really, Athens made the whole trip feel whole again. Looking back, during those moments when I was traveling for work and leading up to this moment of my Greece trip, I think my depression was starting to slowly settle in at this time. I was actually at a point where I felt like I was on track. The goals I set were finally falling into place. I had the job and the title and the team. But that's also when something in me started slowly dimming. And, I didn't fully realize it back then, and only looking back now do I really see the patterns I was in. And I'm still dissecting that, but I just felt like it was important to acknowledge. This trip reminded me that joy doesn't wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to have your life perfectly put together to choose something good, and sometimes all you need to do is say yes and trust that everything is going to be okay. So here's to the last minute decisions, to the perfectly imperfect timing, and to choosing yourself, even when everything feels chaotic or you feel like it might not be the right time. Choosing yourself and choosing these opportunities that come our way can make the biggest change. So to the trips that show up exactly when you need them. Let me know if you have any questions about Greece. I'm happy to help you plan, happy to answer any questions. Be careful of the water taxis. Bring some motion sickness medicine and maybe a barf bag. But other than that, you can't go wrong. Have a great day. Bye for now.